Hey everyone, appreciate everybody being on the call here today. Uh, we're about a minute out, so we'll give everybody another minute to join the call. Like I mentioned in email that I sent earlier today, we'll go ahead and start with Ryan Alpert. Ryan will open with a few quick thoughts, and then we'll open it up for questions for Ryan, and then we'll turn it over to Coach Key. So. Um, We'll give everybody about 30 seconds to jump on and we'll get rolling.
Mike, you did a great job getting the crowd here today.
I don't know. I feel like you guys had something to do with that.
It's Rod.
Everybody wanted to see Kelly's goatee.
Zach in the house.
Okay, tell you what, we've got a little bit after 4 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started. Like I mentioned, Director of Athletics and Vice President at Georgia Tech, Ryan Alpert, is going to open with a few thoughts, and then we'll open it up for questions for Ryan, and then we'll move on to Coach Key. So, Ryan, please go ahead.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for being here today. I think it's a special day on the flats for many ways. It's obviously National Signing Day for our future student athletes that want to be a part of the Tech family, but we got to coincide that announcement with one that I'm extremely proud of the new contract, extension of the contract for Coach Key. When you think about how the program he inherited 3 years ago and what he has accomplished in the past 3 seasons, coming to obviously where we are this year with the program. I'm extremely excited for the partnership that we have and what Brent has built programmatically within the locker room, the culture. When you have the uniqueness of being able to have somebody who cares so deeply about Georgia Tech and the Institute and the players, just really excited for the place. I knew, early on in my tenure, I started here in July and got some time, to be around the program, and you could see the level of care and interest and respect that Brent had, but the players had for the program. And so Brent and I have been meeting, consistently throughout from the summer through fall camp and into the season, and talking a lot about what it takes to be a championship level program. And I think the commitment into Coach Key and the staff and the program, again, we're going to grow together. We're just taking steps as a program to be a championship level athletic department and football program. And renewing Coach's contract is just one element of the things that we want to do to continue to push this program forward. Nobody deserves it more than him. He has from day one been committed to, other than spending time with his family he and I've talked about. I mean, he has poured everything into this program, and I'm excited to see. I think we're just getting started on what we can accomplish here at Georgia Tech. And for me, the thing that I could do to continue to ensure we're having success is making sure that Brent Key is our head football coach. And I couldn't be more excited to coincide signing day. That was not planned. That's just kind of how it all worked out. But certainly the synergy between the signing day of both coach and our NLIs today is a special moment for Georgia Tech.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open up for questions. If you could use the raise hand function within Zoom, we'll call on people individually just to try and keep it to controlled chaos a little bit. So we'll go ahead and start with Chad Bishop.
Hey, Ryan, how much of this was based on Brent's success, but also, possibly other schools coming after him?
0% of the new contract was, based on his, other schools. Obviously, it was based on his success and the vision of the program and what they were accomplishing. Obviously, I mentioned on the radio throughout the year, in any moments, your coaches, whether it's Brent, whether it's our volleyball, golf coach, when you get recognized by the national media, and your names are being attached to other places, it means you're having success. And so when we started the way we did, and the teams that we were beating, and the notoriety and how much from, again, what coach inherited to what he has built today on the field and the program and the staff that he's put around him, I would be, people would be dumb for not putting his name out there and attaching him to jobs. Everybody's looking to build the type of success that he has. So I was very appreciative of the notoriety and respect that others have of Coach in the program, but nothing we brought forward was in response to that. I think it was important for me early in my tenure to recognize what he has done, and he and the staff and the players have done, and we needed to invest in that to push ourselves forward.
Luke?
Yeah, Ryan, there was just an extension done just last year. So when was it starting to get important to you that you had to get this done again?
I can't pinpoint a specific date, but I think as I watched fall camp, as you see, Coach in front of the team, the players, the program, it was for me, and coming in July, I did a full observation, if you will, of from how the kids practice and how they interact in the sports, in the sports nutrition world, and everything that Coach has a great grasp of. You could tell the program, without wins and losses on the scorecard at that point, where it was going. And so, I think that's the athletic director's job for all sports, is to continually to have an evaluation. And I felt like I was in a position and worked with President Cabrera and our board and to a point when, it was several weeks ago that we began this process to ensure that we were proactive.
Kelly?
Brian, what's it been like, I guess, trying to piece all this together very quickly in terms of the financial commitment and getting everything kind of lined up? I imagine that was quite a tall task for you over the last 5 months or so.
Yeah, it's certainly better to be doing this side of the task than the other side of the task. I'll say that. So when you're winning and you're building a program, I want to continue. I want to win just as much as Coach wants to win, and to see them performing. Yeah, absolutely. It a lot of work, but it's an enjoyable piece of the job to be able to invest in a program that is bringing such notoriety and success to our institute.
Rod?
Ryan, did you have donors approach you and say, hey, maybe this is something we need to get done?
There are a lot of armchair ADs out there, just like there's a lot of armchair quarterbacks with who can call plays. Yeah, Brent has assimilated a lot of respect in the community, from donors, from students on campus, from faculty members that are partners with us. I think everybody, unless they have blinders on, sees again, when you look at the holistic program, it isn't just about this season. What Brent inherited, how he has built a staff, how he has invested in our student athletes, how successful they are on and off the field. All of those things people recognize, and certainly, we all, not just myself, but we all collectively knew it was the time to step up.
Emmanuel?
Hey, Ryan, Emmanuel Glaze from the Crush Sports Talk. With the success of Georgia Tech over the past few years, has expectations rose from not only for the football program, but other athletic programs with this success?
Yeah, I think nobody holds ourselves. I think, Brent would say the same thing. Nobody holds the program or the team, and I'd say this for each one of our teams. The standard within those programs is probably higher than even our fans or donors or supporters hold them to. I'll give you the example of, Michelle headed to her 6th NCAA tournament with volleyball. If you look at the schedule, I think we had the #1 toughest schedule in the country, and she was, beating herself up at times about did she overschedule, but I think she did the exact right thing to get into postseason. But again, whether it's Brent, Michelle, Karen, all of our coaches hold themselves and their programs to a really high standard. And so, yeah, expectations, I think, are always rising, but nobody expects more from themselves than our coaches.
Chad?
Buyout clauses have been a big issue across the country. How much of the discussion was that reworking buyout clauses or penalties in terms of this specific contract?
It's an element of every contract. I think, coach's security is important as well as our security and making sure that we keep him here. And as we continue to have success, we like the notoriety, but we want Coach Key on our sideline. So absolutely, each part of the contract, that's why these can sometimes take some time. Is they're comprehensive and a lot of moving parts to them. But I think that was a piece of this for sure.
Oh, Callie, if you want to wrap us up with Ryan.
Sure, Ryan. I was just curious about, right now it's the arms race and coaches' salaries for assistants, staff, all of that stuff. How much has that been a factor? And is that something that you're prioritizing as well as part of this deal to make sure that Brent has all the tools that he needs in his toolbox to compete?
Yeah, I think it's really important you guys know, like, this is not Ryan Alpert doesn't sit over here and say, hey, here's what I think football needs. Like, it's a partnership. Brent and I spent a lot of time together. Brent Jones on our staff works directly with Coach and the program. I find I need to generate the revenue. I need to create the resources to give to, Coach and the football program to invest in the areas that he thinks are most impactful. And it's a partnership on, do I wish at times there was more tools in the toolbox? Absolutely. There's never enough, right? But we're working very diligently to grow our revenues, to continue to invest. But the plan and what we're investing in is what Coach wants and what he needs to continue to build out the program. And it takes a lot of resources to compete, for a championship year in and year out. And the thing that we're aligned on is that we don't want this to be a one-hit wonder. We are going to build a football program here that we all can be proud of, and one that is going to continue to win at a high level. But that takes investment, and one that we know we've got to grow together and continue to push the envelope. And that's why we're going to be having, as soon as we announce the release, we went out with season tickets and trying to get the community more engaged and trying to, like, the environment you saw with the last, 3 sellouts at home is not one. Again, that doesn't need to, that environment we had for the Pitt game is not a one-hit wonder either. That needs to be a continual in-game environment that we're creating a home field advantage for our team, but our fans can come out and feel the big-time environment we can have here at Georgia Tech.
Great. Ryan, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on with Coach Key at this point. So, Ryan, thanks.
What do I do, Mike?
If you want to get on camera, that would be awesome.
What do you mean? I'm on camera. Can you guys see me? Chad, can you see me? I see Chad. I see Miles. I see Luke. Jackson.
You look great.
There we go. I see you now.
Now I got Seth. Oh, wow. This is a big time. No, appreciate you guys doing this today. Really kind of, I guess there's several sections or whatever to this thing. I don't think any of us anticipated it unfolding like this today. But as far as, signing day, excited to always have signing day. And the calendar's changed over the years. And I remember the first time we had the December signing. I think we were in a run over in Tuscaloosa, and it was just like another day in the building that happened to be signing. And now it's really transitioned to being the signing day, really. And it's a great thing because it's the future of your program, and that's something we've got to continue to build upon. Is our roster, the size, the speed, the athletic ability, the football instincts, ball skills. That was something we really addressed in the, looking at back end guys on the defense, were ball skills, guys that played receiver, guys that played running back, guys that played quarterback, guys that had the ball in their hand and were able to make plays on the football, guys that could anticipate and had instinctual reactions, breaking on football, breaking in on tackles, running through tackles, ability to tackle in space. So a lot of things went into the evaluation and this. And at this point, really in the third year of your program, it's about addressing the needs you have to have as you predict out, 2, 3, 4 years. And then the portal comes in January, where you take the immediate needs of experience, maturity, physical and mental maturity, playing experience at the collegiate level, and fill in gaps and holes. So, we have not, I don't know if we have or not completed everything. I believe we got until Friday, really, for this thing to shake itself out. Still involved with several people out there that we could possibly improve our program. So, but I think if you look across the board, you look at where the guy's from, this and that, we're always going to stay regionally in this 5-hour radius. We're going to, recruiting the state of Georgia, the city of Atlanta is going to be a number one for us. And then we got to continue as we grow as a program to grow outside of really those realms. And at the end of the day, it's the best players that fit our needs and fit Georgia Tech and fit our program. So I think the thing that I'm the most excited about in this class, and you guys think I'm kind of crazy with it, but I think of 23, 24, 23 guys, 22 guys right now, or whatever it is. All but 3 are over 6 foot. Right. So you talk about length and size, and the 3 guys that are under are all 5'11". They have great length to them, 33 plus, length arms. It's, something that we really addressed this entire year. There's a exact mold of the player that we needed to bring in each specific position. And I think we've done that. We need to increase our size, on the offensive line. We've done that. And then the big thing is, we had to continue to improve and increase our athletic ability on the defensive front, right? And I think we've done that. I think we've done that at linebacker as well. The length at corner we've signed, can help us in a lot of ways, whether it be, playing press man coverage, disrupting routes, also making plays on the football. So it's not over, and really it won't be over until we get to the portal time. But the number one goal of that is to improve your roster. Right, you're not going to improve as a football team unless you continue to improve the acquisition and the development of the talent on your team. So that's that with the recruiting part. I do want to thank Ryan for the things he said. I want to thank President Cabrera, Ryan, Brent Jones. I mean the entire board. But really, the big thing when it comes to contracts, contracts are a symbolic representation of a relationship. That's what it is, and that's what we have here. We have a great relationship across the board from the top down. We have alignment, and we have commitment to winning, right? And that's one thing that I'm going to continue to always push. Just because a contract is signed or renewed means nothing to anyone internally other than their stability, and that's big in the eyes of recruits. It's big in the eyes of coaches you're looking to retain and acquire, right? But the biggest thing is the players, right? The Georgia Tech football is about the players, and it always has been and always will be about the players here. And to know that these guys have stability, to know that these guys have continuity, and that for sure I'm going to be here the entire time they're here. And I've told them that. I've told you guys that. I don't know if you guys didn't believe me, if y'all were just trying to keep the media going or what. But it's exciting. I'm excited. I'm very, very appreciative, very thankful, very blessed to be in this position. But it really it's these things are for the players. Right? This is about the players. And the secondary to that is our fans, our alumni, our boosters, the people that live and die by every play on the field. And I just want to make sure it's known that we're here and I'm here because of a commitment to win championships. All right, we took a big step forward this year. All right, but it's nowhere near where I want to be, where we want to be as a program. All right, where I have aspirations of being, where we're working every day towards going to. Right, and that wouldn't be possible without the commitment from Dr. Cabrera and the rest of the people involved. So, questions.
All right, questions. Chad, we'll open up with you.
Following up on what Kelly asked Ryan, how important was it for you to ensure that you had the financials for your assistant coaches, your staff, and then for future rosters moving forward?
Extremely, extremely important. That was the number one most important thing. The ability to acquire and retain quality assistants and quality players. That's how you improve yourself as a program. You're either getting better or worse. I say it all the time, right? And we've got to continue to get better. Right. So yes, that was an extremely important thing.
Luke?
Hey, Brent, take us back to kind of the beginning of the process. When, for you or for both sides, did this start to become a real thing again, given the fact that a year ago you had just signed an extension?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I don't even really know. You know, other people handle those things. I mean, that's all done. I'm focused during the season. It is extreme focus on game planning, on the game, on the players, on those things. That's why you have people to help you do these things.
Rod?
What am I supposed to say? I don't know anything about the contract details. I don't know anything about it. I told him I don't even want to know about it, blah, blah, blah. And that's what you're supposed to say now?
Rod?
First of all, Brett, congratulations on the new extension. You lost, five pretty good players in the secondary. Was that a priority for you with this recruiting class?
Say that again now. Lost. You talk about the players graduating?
I mean, you got, I think, four of the five top-rated players in this class are defensive backs.
Are you saying to replace? I'm sorry. Are you saying to replace the guys that graduated?
Yeah, I was just wondering if that was a priority with what you lost in the secondary.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, for sure. I think in a perfect world, you want to get to the point where you're signing a team every year, right? 4 to 5 O linemen, a QB, running back, several receivers, on the back end, and that way you have the distribution the way you want it across classes. It's never going to be a perfect deal, but that's where you want to be. We had to increase the length, the girth, on the back end. Kobe Jones is an outstanding recruiter. He locked it. It is a team effort. It's not just one person, but he really early on locked in on the corners that we felt were the best and fit us the best. And then not only was the evaluation and the getting them to commit, but then it was the holding on to them, for really, close to a year recruiting these guys. But yeah, it was a major priority.
Kelly?
Brent, in terms of looking at your defensive commits, it seems like there's been a real emphasis on both the size that you've talked about, but also speed, ability to play in space with the linebackers. Do you feel like that was maybe something that was really a focus for this group for you to find guys that could run a little bit better to run the type of defense you guys want to run?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to increase look, it's a size speed game. I mean, it's a collision sport. I think, Kelly, you've heard me say it. Like, I mean, there's weight classes in boxing for a reason, right? So you need guys that can move. I mean, if you do have a Floyd Mayweather trying to box heavyweight, I mean, he's got his speed, right? So, but heavyweights are heavyweights. You need big guys that can run, guys that have length. But the game is a space game now, right? It is you can't have the 6'3", 250-pound linebackers across the board, right? With the way the game's played. So, there was a specific mold we were looking at that position that we believe we can get those guys here, develop them, right, and really help us in the future.
Miles?
Hey, Coach. When you got back here to Georgia Tech back in 2019, you said you want to basically change the mindset about what people think about Georgia Tech. And with this new contract, with the investment, with the coaching staff, NIL, kind of everything combined together as a program, do you feel like that has now become the case now with what Georgia Tech has done this past season, what you guys as a staff have done the past few years?
Yeah, I think we're on our way. I think we've made progress. Again, never satisfied in where we're at, never satisfied in, how we're viewed, never satisfied with results on the field. I mean, we're striving every day to, to be the top college football program in the country. Right. That is the mindset that I walk through the door every day with, that I go to bed with every night. And that's what we're striving for. And look, there's, it gets, you get frustrated at times because you want everything to happen now. You want it to happen now. But you have to remind yourself at all times you have to have urgency in the moment, but patience for the long haul, for the long term when you're building a program. And, I think we've made a lot of progress in the 3 seasons, but there's still a lot of progress to be made and a long way to go, as far as I see it.
Manuel?
Hey, Coach, in today's recruiting landscape, how do you balance recruiting for the future and the recruiting of the immediate need, like you said earlier, when the portal comes out? How do you balance that? Do you go after what the players you want first and then just feel at that point, or is it a balance between immediate and future needs?
No, I mean, we already have projected out up until 2028, the projected needs at positions. And look, it's not about just taking the best player out there. Right now, there might be 1 or 2 that are kind of an above and beyond, but if you're missing, if you're losing, 3D linemen or 3O linemen that played, right? Well, what's that balance of finding the guy that's going to come in immediately, right? But if you get in my opinion, now this is just my philosophy, right? If you're so caught up in getting the immediate fix out of the portal every single time, what does that really say about your development of players within the program? Right. This is a program that I want to be known as a developmental program, that we truly take these guys, bring them in. We develop these guys from when they get here in January or June. Right. And look, everyone wants to have it now. And everyone wants to see these guys, regardless of how they're rated or ranked or whatnot, come in and play right away. But I think we saw last Friday night, Phoenix gets in there and, plays a really good football game. Looks like he looks like he's been out there forever. But again, that's the development of a player over the course of time. And once he's ready, he's going to go out there and play. And that's what we take a lot of pride in. All players are evaluated the same. Doesn't matter if they're, have 1 year remaining at 22, 23 years old, or if they're a 17-year-old high school guy, right? When you're evaluated and graded, right, you're graded in a way that says we believe you have the ability to come in and play right away, or you are a guy that might play within 1 year or 2 years.
Cool. We've got time for about 3 more because Coach has another interview to get to. So I'm going to try and jump around to folks who haven't had a chance to ask a question yet. So we'll start with Seth, go to Andrea, and then Zach to wrap us up. So Seth, go ahead.
Hey, Brent. I think with other coaches that have had announcements of contract extensions, there's also been kind of word of more investment including NIL and everything. How much of that is going on nowadays? Where, I mean, are you even like sacrificing what you might have asked in the past so you make sure that you get what you need for player acquisition?
Yeah, I don't know what other people think or do or even have done. I'm kind of a recluse when it comes to what's going on in the real world. But like I said, if it doesn't come across this little ticker in my office over here, I rarely know what's going on. But it's kind of weird when you see your own name go across it. But for me personally, it is major important that we're able to have the best staff that we can possibly assemble every year. And we're able to compensate and reward our players and acquire the players we need to every single year. It is the number one priority for me.
Andrea?
Brent, as a bit of a follow-up to that, I mean, you did receive some interest from other schools in this cycle. and you elected to stay. And I know this is your alma mater, but a lot of guys re-signed contracts to stay at their current schools who had opportunities potentially to leave. I'm wondering, in this era we're in with the investment, rev share, NIL, if it's a situation where you can plant roots and be successful where you are, whether it is your alma mater or not, and not have to go out and chase something that others may perceive as quote unquote bigger or better.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% correct. I mean, just look at the last 2 years, what the way college football is changing. I think it's changing for the better. I mean, the fan interest is off the charts right now with college football. I think it's only going to continue to increase. And I think what you're seeing with coaches, whether it's their alma mater or not their alma mater. I mean, at the end of the day, I've said it since the very beginning of all this. As long as I feel like we can be supported to the level to win championships here, and we have the investment behind us and the alignment, right? This is where I want to be, because I believe you can do that when you have the right people in place and the right structure in place.
Hey, Brent and Zach,
Zach,
two quick things. One, you said you didn't pay any particulars to the contract. I just want to make sure if your wife Danielle did. Is she familiar with the terms of everything in there? And then two, Haynes King being named the Player of the Year. Is he kind of embody everything that this program is about and moving forward?
When did he get named that?
ACC Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. The last
Now, right now.
20 minutes.
Heck yeah, that's a heck of a lot more important to me than some piece of paper that you sign. Like, I mean, that's awesome. That is so awesome. So deserving of it. Man, that's awesome. That's great. And as far as Danielle, she's involved in every decision that I make. We're a family. We make decisions. What's important in my football family. Those are the two things.
very good, Coach. Thanks for taking the time, and everybody, thanks for taking the time to jump on. If you need a recording, if you weren't able to record, just shoot me a note, and I'll be glad to send you a recording. And appreciate everybody being on. Have a great night.
Thank y'all. Go Jackets. Deuces.